weekend coverage of round 1 of the Old Farm Battle for Old Farm here at Old Farm Park in Kentwood, Michigan. Super excited to have you back with us. And on the commentators mic, I have myself along with Chris. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing great. Got a huge shout out to our sponsors for helping us to host a great event here. One of our most popular amateur events of the year. Super excited to have it. And taking a quick gander at what happened on the front 9. John and you are just scorching through that front, setting the pace, while Jason and Dan just a little bit behind there at 2 down, looking to maybe make some moves in the back 9, try to capitalize on some stuff to get back into that competitive field. And they'll have to start off on hole 10, 341 feet. And while this isn't the longest hole, it definitely plays as the longest hole because this is uphill the whole way up towards this elevated basket. And I love the rock formation around it. It makes it look really cool.
It's probably the signature hole out here. Probably plays 370-ish because of the hill, but...
Yeah, I would say 380 probably, just power-wise. On a pure hyzer, you're going to throw 400 just for the control, and, you know, flip to flat, you're trying to throw 380, I would say, just from experience. And the T-pad is slightly elevated.
It is. It goes uphill.
So it definitely can cause people to kind of throw that a little too far up. But Dan looks like he's done a nice job. He has really good power there, just a little outside, maybe 35, 36 feet there. He's going to have a tester for his birdie. What are you throwing there?
I believe I threw my queen. It didn't flip up as much as I would liked it to, but
it's out there.
It's out there. It gives me an easy up shot for the par, which is on this hole. Honestly, I'm looking for par.
Yeah.
I don't get the distance a lot anymore.
And that's a common landing spot, as you see Jason kind of land the same spot. It's just a little too nose up sometimes from people with a little more power, and they're just kind of hyzer out a little early there. But again, it's so open. There's no OB anywhere unless you really, really misfire.
Right.
So you're just, just kind of ripping it out there. If you get to the level, you're getting a run at it like Dan has here. Otherwise, you're kind of pitching it up to the rocks and you're tapping in your par.
Yep, exactly.
Dan looks like that wind might have gotten him a little bit, left it out a little low and right.
Now this is actually my third shot. We missed my second shot in there.
Yep.
So that's for the par.
You weren't quite that parked.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not this time. Maybe next round.
Maybe next round. We'll have to see. Dan's going to tap in. Looks like we're going to get a par frame, which is really common here for this hole. I would say that a par frame is even for some of the guys who can throw 450, 500, this hole should be an easy 2-hole for them because they should be able to reach it regularly. But
right.
For the guys that are throwing around 400, it can definitely leave. It's definitely one you want to get, but a little trickier.
And when you say par prizes, I mean, not a lot of people bogey this hole because it's so open. There's not a lot of danger.
Right.
It's just a matter of, throw, pitch up, and putt.
Yeah. Hole 11 here, 352 feet. OB behind it on the road is the real big danger, and it plays not as long as previous hole because it's downhill. You're just really trying to... I like to throw like a T-bird actually on this hole or something like that. Something that has a nice, good speed to it that I have to really thump out there.
If I'm throwing straight at it, I'll throw a mid-range, but that's not my play. We'll watch Dan here.
Oh, this is a mid-range for sure from Dan. This looks like a rock.
That would be a good play. You also, all this dirt down there is very hard packed, so you got to watch how you land. Skips can be your... Yeah, see, there's my play. I like to go big hyzer.
Yeah, flipped over a big time. What is that?
That's a ballista.
Oh, my.
And it did its job.
Yeah, it's up by the basket for sure. Jason looking is trying to flip something over as well. That's going to have to hold. Couple bonus shots of the other cards disc going out there. He's
Right.
out there too. This is a common landing spot, just being a little bit short. As we mentioned on the previous 9, one thing that can kind of get you on these holes is, even though you look at them like, I don't understand why is it hard to reach them, is if you spend,
Just off the...
John couldn't save the par there, but if you're, first 8 holes are all technical and you're trying to control your power, and then all of a sudden you get into holes 9, 10, and 11, and it's like you better open it up. And if you're not really ready to throw max power, or you're not ready to kind of really thump one out there,
There goes Jason.
you can definitely leave yourself short on some of those putts, and it just kind of takes the birdie play out of it. But nice shot from Jason there. Definitely a tester there. And
Yeah, got a little amp side there.
a lot of chains, just a little too high.
Yep. There's Dan cleaning his up.
Still a great drive. It's right where you want to be in that power range. as you're going to tap in the easy 3, and we'll be headed on to the next hole here. John looking to maybe make up for that bogey, see if he can get himself back on track. Here at hole 12, 234 feet, Mando to the left, trying to keep away from that right side baskets, and OB on the left, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
There's a creek that runs over there that is OB, on or over.
And what's the common play you see the most on this hole?
Forehand, a lot of forehands, and then for people who can't forehand like me, they do this. They try to turn something, a mid-range or a putter over, and try to thread their way through the trees.
Jason took a really heavy kick to the left, but he ended up being in bounds while sitting on the line, but he was in bounds, so he's going to save a stroke there. And Dan with his trusty putters, he's a putter thrower by nature. He's up there by the basket. He'll have a putt.
Yeah, I threw my Swan Reborn again, and I forgot that it flips on its own, and I put a little too much turn on it myself.
Yeah.
It's one of the dangers.
I think this is a meteor from John here, and in person, when he threw that, I was like, oh no, that's going deep in the woods, and then just never stopped turning.
Yeah, that was a meteor. And John, once he turns something over, it usually isn't going to come back. He trusts his meteors and his stingrays
so much. It is really cool to watch. This is a shot in my. I just don't have in my bag, so it's really cool to see other people do it. Dan really focusing in here. In order for him to even stay in the competitive, frame set here, he's got to put something together here. So he's taking his time, knocking in birdie. And John, looking invincible in that front 9, all of a sudden misses a couple putts.
Shows his humanity.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows John for as long as I've known him knows that guy is a putter.
I mean, he's been showcased. Those front 9 holes were incredible. He'd put on a clinic.
Yeah, if I need some advice on putting, that's the guy I'm going to talk to right there.
Yeah,
he's been around a long time, and he doesn't even think about it. If you watching the video, when you see it, it's him. He just steps up and he
goes.
throws.
Yep, there's no prep. Talking about forehand holes, hole 13, 172 feet, real tight gap off the tee pad there. Really trying to get it just to go big left to right. You can cut through the woods on the right side. I see some people daring enough to go through that, but
that's definitely the harder shot.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the play I see and that I try, even though I'm not a forehand dominant player, and that's okay from Dan there. Definitely not what he wanted, but he's gonna have
Gets through a majority of the trees, gives him an easy par.
Circle 2 putt for sure.
It gives him the chance at the circle 2 putt. Gives him an easy par. And Jason just kind of catches one of them trees and.
I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but it was working out until it caught that backboard tree.
And me, I can't forehand at all. And that was not a great attempt at a turnover, but we'll try it again next round.
Looks like John's going for a forehand as well, and this one's a bit turned over, and he has gone into the woods there. Does the OB go that far up?
Yeah, there's a creek, but it's way down there on this one. If you reach that, you've got more problems than being in the woods.
John didn't quite reach that far, but he is in the woods, which is enough of a problem as it is. You did a nice job pitching up there. You're well within 15 feet or so. Oh, and as soon as Jason released that, he knew it wasn't what he wanted.
He knew he put it high and angled. It's okay. He's got a inside the circle putt for his par.
I remember John talking to me briefly, and he just kind of was like, I'm just going to have to throw this as hard as I can because it's got to fight through some foliage. And as soon as he released it, you couldn't even hear a leaf move.
He absolutely missed everything.
Dan here with a beautiful putt.
Great putt.
I'm mistaken from earlier. He was just inside circle. Here's John looking to save it. Couldn't quite save that one. He was in a pretty tough spot and kind of got a little unlucky about having no foliage, but he's going to have another bogey here. And you can see it. You're looking at the wind.
Well, I like to try to blame the wind when I can, but honestly, I let it go low out of my hand, and I knew it. So I'm going to take my first bogey of the day and move on to the next hole.
Yeah, 3 bogeys actually. You, Jason, and John all taking bogeys, and Dan with the lone birdie on the hole, getting two strokes on the card.
Everybody, right? And that's got to feel good for him. Trying to get back into the race here.
Yeah, hole 14 now, 210 feet. OB along the water line on the left side there. But you're just throwing something putter on the hyzer. As long as it doesn't have too much speed, you shouldn't go OB. You can kind of see the spray paint line there on the left of that person on the left. But yeah, don't hyzer too early and don't throw too much speed.
Yeah, because the creek does move along behind it. It's fairly deep behind it, but it's there. Dan with a nice shot.
Yeah, Dan says, I don't want to do either of those things. I just want to be by the basket. And I will say that too. If you land short, there's grass. It'll slow your disc down a little bit. But if you land at basket level, that dirt will be a little more ground
hard
action.
pan. It is very hard pan, and it's varying grades. Like if you land too early, that disc will get ate up by the grass. It'll stop it dead.
What are you throwing? Is that Luna?
That is a Crystal Luna. Yep.
Man.
Little inside.
Stop,
I was
stop,
worried
stop.
I was worried off the tee it was going to make the water. That's how inside it was. But thankfully, it checked up for me.
John throwing maybe a soul.
I don't remember what he threw there, but he did a good job.
Yeah, he's in circle, right? That's your objective here. Here's you from probably 28 feet or so.
Yeah.
Just off the top band.
Yeah, that's fairly common for me.
Better to miss high than low, though?
I don't subscribe to that. I'll miss low a lot more because I don't like missing high because usually I'm throwing hard, and if I miss high, I've got a longer putt than I had before. But it's hard for me to tamp and
It's better to make it than to miss. How about that?
I'm trying to make everything, so I hit the top a lot.
Giving it at least a chance.
Yeah, if you hit the bottom, it never had a chance.
That's right. Heading to hole 15. This is the hole that people want to ace. This is the safest run on the course. There is water on the left side, but if you release a disc that's too stable or on that much hyzer, you never had a chance to begin with.
Pick the wrong disc.
Right, for sure. You just really want to throw something with a little bit that may be stable on the right side and let it go towards it, but Dan's doing the play here where you throw a really, really flat putter right at the thing, and he didn't get quite as much ground action as he wanted there. He'll have a tester putt there for his birdie look.
Yeah, I know a lot of the guys that can forehand love this hole because you got the hill on the side of it there, so you can just crash into it. No worries.
That's a common play I see as well as the mid-range. You just kind of choke up so you can give it a little more of a run for control.
Look at John.
He's throwing. This is looking good. He's got to get down.
Oh, right off the band.
And John was trying to give us our first channel ace there just off the top of the band there. So close. Crystal Luna. A little too much hyzer there.
Well, yeah, I practiced this all week with my mid-ranges, and then I got to here, and I'm like, I need a little more control, and then I forgot to throw it flat. That's okay.
Dan there with his fourth birdie in a row. He's really starting to get into a groove here. You just off to the right side there.
Yeah, I'm thinking my stroke I'm letting go a little early, so I'm trying to think of my stroke and say, all right, wait till you let go and you're a little higher in the arm swing there. It's a new putt for me this year. I've been a hard swing spin putter for years, and it's caused me a lot of bogeys. So I'm trying to avoid that more this year.
All right, heading to hole 16. Final stretch here. 211 feet. Plays a little more than that. It's a little more uphill than the drone here is kind of showing. Wide open. This is one of the holes I would think that next year I'd like to see maybe an island around or something like that. But it's a really fun hole nonetheless. This is a really open part of the park. Lots of wind can definitely trip you up. You're just trying to take a putter of some kind, lay it up next to the basket, and try to get that too.
Yeah. Probably top 3 easiest holes on the course.
Yep.
It's real simple.
Dan's out there a little wider than he wanted to be, but that putter, that AVR just doesn't have the stability for it to come back the way he wanted it. And then Jason does a really nice job there using that buzz. That's picture perfect other than it being an ace.
Yep, nice big hyzer. Controls to come in so it doesn't come up short, and if it spikes in, not much of a chance for a skip when you're that high.
John turned his over, which he's been doing a little bit more this round. And what are you throwing here?
A Buzz GT. I let it go a little early. I got the distance perfect.
Yep. And that was John's entire routine, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, exactly.
That was it.
That's how he walks up and he putts.
If you think that I cut that footage early, I did not. That was the entire routine.
Yeah, you got to be fast to catch John.
It's lightning for a reason.
Right.
just off the front cage there. Again, you're on target there. Just need a little more height or just a little lower there a couple holes ago.
Yep, and the one time I didn't have the target, I had the height good, so we'll work on that.
Got to put those two things
together,
right?
We'll bring it together. Get back to the beginning of the first round, or first front nine.
Got a couple holes left to go here. That last chance for you guys to kind of score. Hole 17, 250 feet. So the sidewalk and left is all OB, or is green safe there?
All the sidewalk. If you're on the other side of the sidewalk, even if you're in that little green part, you're out of bounds.
You're really not trying to throw there. You're trying to throw big hyzer, right?
Yeah, big hyzer for all the righty backhanders. Yep. The lefty guys, I watched a couple of guys skip off that roof.
Yep. Not what you're trying to do, and this is perfect from Dan.
Yeah, without going in the basket, it don't get any better.
He had some woes there in the front nine, but he has his 5 birdies in a row. It looks like he's just counted his 6th, and he is really starting to turn on the heat here. Looks like Jason might have choked up a little too nose up there. Hyzered a little early, cut off a little short because of that. See if he can make that putt from circle's edge. John really looking to try to make a move here, trying to keep up with Dan now. Had a couple birdies there, and he skips off the
pad.
He's going to be safe. He's in those weeds, but for a moment there, we were all a little worried.
We all thought that went in, and we were kind of talking to the people on the card down there, trying to find out if it was safe or not. And I don't know if we actually found out till we got down there.
And that's the same Buzz right there?
Same Buzz GT, yeah. Yep.
Good shot from you. Puts you in circle. Just got to keep giving yourself those opportunities. The putt will fall. And just a touch too am side there. A little high as well, but made a good run at it. And that's a scary putt. There's a lake right behind him, and he threw that high. John just a touch low there off the basket. There you go.
All right. I finally found it again.
We discovered the middle. Dan's going to tap in his sixth birdie
in a row.
He is just tearing up this back nine. And this is exactly like what you would see someone do if you're really trying to push this tournament, is just kind of shoot a score like this where you're just birdie running all the time. And he's executed very well this back nine, made up for those mistakes in the front. And he's got 1 hole left to go. Now don't worry about the banner right there, or the canopy. We moved it before the tournament started, but hole 18, 211 feet. OB on the left with the parking lot, OB behind it on the road. Got a nice guy waving at us. We got this basket's kind of like in this little cove here. You're just trying to land right up next to it in your inside circle, or if you get in the cove, you're parked.
Yeah, another signature hole here with this landscaping.
Get it. Oh my Lord.
And another one off the basket.
You guys are killing me. Just go in. Just want one ace.
I'd love to see it.
Well, Dan's parked. And he, honestly, kind of a fortunate kick there. Usually if you skip off the top, you're gone. And
and that the sidewalk ain't that far behind it, so he lucked out by kind of catching the rim and kicking him up and dropping him down. But that'll be his 7th in a row. And
a great finish from a
way to finish the first round.
And that's going to be right on the edge there. Honestly, if you're on that hill on the right side, it's 15, 20 feet. Yeah, you're well within the circle. Looks like John's trying to take another run at it. This has got some good height to it. Sit. Yeah, it's going to curl up. That's a bit of a tester. That circle's edge there. And this is a really windy part of the course as well. You can definitely find your disc floating. It's got a...
And I tried to ride the wind.
Yep.
You can see the trees all shaking around back there. I'm like, ugh. And Lightning don't care about no wind.
Lightning got that. Looks like a bit of a tailwind, so he knew he just to push it. Jason here's got a bit of a headwind, and I think that's kept him a little higher than he wanted, and just not quite the way he wants to finish here. While Dan, on the other hand, is scorched through this back nine. If he had done the same thing in the front, he'd have been just incredibly on the score. But he's going to have to settle for 9 down, I guess.
A few holes to warm up, but
now his putter's activated, and he's killing it. All that green there. Really took advantage of that. So really hot scores from Dan. Jason at 3 down, John at 1 down, you at even. So that back nine definitely tripped some people up. But taking a look at our round 1 standings, looks like we're going to keep everyone on the card except Jason, and we're going to add Chad, who shot 10 down on the front nine, joining us for the lead card.
Can't wait for it.
Yeah, Thanks again to our supporters and Patreon supporters. Appreciate all our sponsors, and we'll see you guys in the next round.